Hello everyone, this is Tufail Qureshi, and today we are designing a very precise way of making a suspension insulator of 11 kV voltage level. So first of all we have to analyze the cross section of an 11 kV suspension insulator. It's like this. So it has essentially three parts: the top, and then the disc, which is a porcelain disc, and then this pin for holding the fitting pin for holding the subsequent discs into the current disc. So what we do is that we first of all will put it in the edit mode. We will select Ctrl A, copy it, and go to the AutoCAD window and paste it here. Okay, so it's pasted. So what we do is that we have to trace the edges onto the worksheet. So for that we'll select the spline command. We can type the spline command. We can select it from the shortcut menu. So what we do is that we start from here, tracing all the necessary edges, the components, as you can see. Right, so we press enter, and we also have to select the reference line. Reference line is always very necessary, so we take this as the center part. Alright, and we make an approximate reference. It's not straight enough. Do is that we'll delete it, and we will again make the reference. And reference should always be very straight, vertical. As you can see, it's probably correct. We enter it, and then we select the image. We will delete it. So yes, this is how it is developed. And then we continue with the spline command. Alright, because we have to make the cross section. So what we do is that we continue from here, and then we go on like this, depending upon how thick the porcelain is, and because it's mostly hollow inside. Alright, so up to this point we'll make it hollow, and then we have to go straight and then cross it here, and then we press enter. So what we do is that here you can see you can extend it a little further, and then we press enter. So what we do is that here we trim all of them. So we trim it, we trim this, trim this out. So we trim this, and we have to trim these. Alright, and this, so, and this as well. So what it is, this will be the cross section of the top, and we select it again, and we will join it. As we already know, we have to join it in order it to revolve around an axis. So what we do is that we will type the revolve command, and then we select the object to be revolved and around the axis that it has to revolve. Okay, we have to be sure that the axis is properly selected, 360 degrees. Okay, so this forms the top, and now we have to know, we already know that we have to have a hollow space inside for the fittings to fit. So for that we again will need the picture in order to trace those hollow spaces. Okay, so now what we have to do, since the drawing has got obscured, the work has got obscured, so what we do is that we right click on it, and we draw order, we send it to back, and you see the trace has come to the front. And now what we do is that we again move this in order to be in the right place, approximately there, because we have to trace again. Right, right. So yeah, it's fine. Now what we have to do is that we have to trace this portion. This portion we have to trace using spline command again. What we do is that we come from here and we just trace along this whole thing, this whole hollow space we have to make, and then we press enter, and then we have to again use the, this is the reference, so we have to be precise about that, the reference. Before that we might want to remove the picture because we already have traced one part of it, so we will need the reference now. It should be very precisely vertical. Alright, so, and then the horizontal line will also be needed, like that. Okay, enter. So what we do is that we again trim, double enter, we do it like this, this, and also like this. So what we do is that now we select the whole thing because we have to make a vacant space inside the top, so we'll again revolve it. In order to revolve that, we have to again join this. It's joined, and now we revolve it inside. Revolve command, enter, select the object, enter, select its axis along which we need to revolve. It has to be a straight line. Okay, again do it, revolve, select the object, enter, just maybe a little outside the diameter, outside the object, we can set the revolving line like that. It's vertical. Now what we do is that we do 360 degrees and it's done. So in order to remove this solid, make the hollow space, we have to remove this solid portion from the external disk. So what we do is that we type the subtract command, we select the whole disk, whole top, and from this we remove this portion because it's solid. Now it's done. So also, as we know, a portion of one side of it, of this top, is open while the other side is closed. So again we have to trace again. So what we do is that we will trace along this, along the same lines, right? But we have to be careful that we just send it outside a little bit. Okay, to click on very close points, very on the contours of this, right up to this, or maybe a little further, and enter. Then what we do is that we again select straight lines. Okay, straight line, and then another straight line, we go along like this. Okay, so it's done, enter. So what we do again, we do the trim, in order to make, for them to join. Okay, select the trim command, not sure. Okay, right, it's trimming, and then we have to trim here, we have to trim here, and it's done. Okay, enter. So what we do is that we will simply join this, or maybe we can make a mirror image. We right click this and we make or we can just simply type a mirror. We have to mirror the whole thing. Okay, so for that we have to click on the axis. Okay, so here it is. This is the mirror image. Okay, this is the mirror image, and we have to now make this hollow space. So for that we'll delete this, and then another line, we'll delete them, and we have to join these at the same time. Have to join them. We can join them like, not sure if they are joined anywhere. You can see there is, they are probably joined. We can just see, verify if they can join by the join command. I think no, they're not joined. As you can see, there is still, probably they're not joined here. They are probably not joined here. So we can turn the snaps on and we can see here. Okay, there you see they're crossing over, so we just trim them here, double enter. Okay, and they might probably be crossing here as well, so let's see. They're probably joined here. Let's see if they can join again. Yeah, they have joined. So what we do is that we go in another view using the orbit from the panel. We use the orbit. Okay, so we have to extrude it. We have to extrude it. Click on the extrude, we enter it, so it projects outwards. See, it's still not properly done, because it's still not joined properly. So what we do is that we again select it and we explode it. Okay, and it's still in two parts, as you can see here. So what we do, we turn on the snaps and we just join with this. Okay, and then let's see if it joins here again properly. Join, as it's joined, but we still have to see if it forms a three-dimensional object or not. Click it, enter. Yes, now it forms like this, three-dimensional object. Now we have to delete from the top this portion. So what we do is that we go to subtract command, and we select this top, and from this we remove this. Okay, so it's done. So the top is done, as we will shortly see how it's turned out to be. Okay, so this is the 2D wireframe view. From here we can see the realistic view. As you can see, it's very properly done. It's very properly done. Probably a little bit of glitch, but it will do. So we go again to its 2D wireframe view. So again we paste the picture. We again paste the picture on this, because now we have to send it back. Now we have to make the porcelain disc. We'll move it on the same place that it was earlier. Alright, so we have to turn off the snaps, because they are projecting. It's changing the course of this device. Okay. Yeah, right. So now what we do, we again select the spline command, and we have to follow this course from probably here, from here. Okay, so we move on like this, and we have to just follow this pattern. Just have to follow this pattern. Okay. Have to precisely follow the contours and be able to make a proper cross section, because this is very important. Probably the most important part of this drawing is this, what we are doing right now. Okay. And we move like this, right? Enter. And then we have the central axis. So first of all, we'll remove this picture. Okay, we will just extend it a little further. No, Control Z. Okay, so we have to turn off all the snaps, and we have to make a central axis again for it to revolve. Okay, enter. So we will extend it a little further, enter, and then we'll type the trim command, double enter, and we'll see. Again, we'll try the trim command, double enter, and we'll see these will go. Okay, so now we join them. We'll type the join command, join. So it's joined, it's become one object. So it has to be revolved around in order to make a circular disc. So for that we'll type the revolve command. Alright, so it will ask you to select that object, enter, and then the axis around which it has to be revolved. So that needs to be very immaculate. Okay, so this will go 360 degrees, and so it's done. So you will see how it has evolved very shortly, and we can actually, okay, so we also have to make the pin. The pin has to be made. First of all, we'll change its colors by changing going to properties, and we can change the color here in the color panel, select, and here is the brown color, or maybe the chocolate color that you would want to prefer. Here is the accurate color for the disc. Okay, so then after this what you will do is that we have to make the pin. Okay, so it's done. Now we have to make the pin. The pin we can make is again, it's very simple. We have to use the we have to make a reference again. Here we make the reference line, proper reference line, enter, and we use the spline command again. Okay, and we may have to adjust this a little bit, because let's see, still it's not exploded. Okay, so we may first before making a proper disk, we may extend it and give cushion for the pin, because that's very important. At the same time, we have to give cushion for the pin to be adjusted. like that. Okay, like that. Alright, so we click it here and then we enter. Now what we do is that we join this again the way we did it earlier. We join it. We may yeah, we will join it now. Yeah, it's fine to be joined. Join command, enter. So we see it's joined, and then we will revolve it now. Revolve it, select the object, enter, then select the axis. As you can see, select the proper axis and give it an angle 360. It's done. And again, right click, properties, select the color, any color you want. This is the chocolate color we earlier selected for it. Okay, so it's done, and now we have to make the pin. The pin, again, we go to the reference, we make a reference here, the reference line. Okay, here is the reference line. We make the reference line like this, enter, spline. Again, for the pin, it's a little tapered at the ends for it to get adjusted into the mold, and then enter. Then we use the straight line for it to be a straight pin. Right, would be somewhere like here. Okay, enter, and then again we use the spline command in order to make a proper pin, just like this. Is it like right? Enter. So what we do is that we trim again. We will remove these extra bits in order to make a proper pin. There you go. Enter. So now then we join it again. Okay, we join it again. So it's join the pin. Okay, so then what we do is that we revolve it around itself. Revolve command again, and we will be revolving this pin again because this is joined. Yeah, again we'll revolve it. Revolve the pin around an axis that should be approximately maybe a little external to it, but should be approximately there. There it is, and again 360 degrees. So it's done, and we will select its color, properties, color, we can say like dark gray or something. We probably select this color, suits it, and so our disc insulator is complete. You can just visualize it in the realistic view. As you can see, this is the disc insulator that's completed. Here you go. You can watch, you can see everything is beautifully done at every angle. Okay, and then you can even move them, separate them just like that. And this is the disc, you can move it, select and then move it, and then the pin is here, and then you can again join it, just like move it, fix it inside like this in the same plane, and then the pin can be moved again, just like this, or you can even adjust it like you can just move it, alright, however you want to place it. So here you go, this is the pin insulator. This is actually the disc insulator, the suspension disc of 11 kV, as you can see how it's done.